Hi guys, starting a new series today, North Node in Libra. I'm wearing a beautiful dress to represent the idea of Libra. What is Libra? Libra is beauty. Libra is elegance. Libra is charm. Libra is exquisite. It's manners, Libra is a beautiful woman wearing a designer gown on the red carpet, or a man wearing some designer suit. That's Libra. It's just like Taurus because it's ruled by Venus, but it's a different kind of beauty. If Taurus is more tactile, it's more about feeling good and stuff, feeling comfortable and, wearing something beautiful. Libra is all about looking beautiful. It's about being pleasing to the eye. It's about pleasing. Libra is great at that. What else is Libra? Libra is about justice. Libra is about balance. Libra is about fairness, cooperation. Libra is about getting along. What else? Libra is the peacemaker. It's the diplomat. It's the charming one, the one that can charm the socks off of anybody. But before we move into Libra North Node, let's talk about your South Node in Aries and what kind of memories you're coming into this lifetime with. So South Node in Aries, you guys are my fighters. You guys are my fighters. You guys are my troublemakers, trouble starters. You guys are my destroyers too, because Aries is a destroyer. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars has no problem burning something down. Mars destroys in order to rebuild, of course. But that's what it does. So you guys with Aries South Nodes, you guys are very competitive people. One of the most competitive ones, probably the most competitive ones in the zodiac, because you guys are used to lifetimes where it was all about being the best, being better than the other. A lot of that was based on survival of the fittest. That's why you kind of learned to be better than everybody else, faster than everybody else. A perfect example will be the movie Mad Max Fury Road, the one with Charlize Theron. That kind of idea, where you are constantly fighting for a place under the sun, and you're constantly gathering weapons, and you're very good at weapons, and you're very good at knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses and using them to protect yourself, to fight for what you think is right, to attack. Aries can be an aggressor. There's lifetimes of aggression. I'm talking about Vikings. I'm talking about Genghis Khan, pillaging. Aries is about conquering. And if it's in the South Node, that means it was done to the detriment of others. It was too much. It destroyed. Aries is great because Aries is a pioneer. Aries is the one that knocks down obstacles. Aries is fearless. Aries is the first one to, go straight to the wall and accomplish what he or she wants to accomplish. But when it's in the South Node, that means they went too far. You guys went too far with the competitiveness, with the aggression, with the fighting, with all of that. Nothing wrong with that. It's the strength that you guys bring into this lifetime, because a lot of people could probably learn from you, to be direct as you are, to be outspoken as you are, to be fearless as you are, to make your point across, and maybe even to have an argument. A healthy argument is great. You guys are good with that. You guys are great at fighting, at proving something. You're always wanting to prove to everybody else and yourself that you are the best, and you deserve a place under the sun, because a lot of your lifetimes were based on the survival of the fittest. You guys are my gladiators. You know how to fight. You're used to getting things through fighting. You're used to getting things through difficulties, either defending something or conquering something, taking something from another, usually by force. A great example would be, I have a lot of friends, girls, who are Aries South Nodes, badass bitches, and I mean it. Because they have that strength within them, that Aries South Node, that masculine energy, and they come in and they're very strong women. They're very argumentative, they're very outspoken, they're looking for something to fight for. A good example is a movie called Molly's Game. The girl that it's based on, Molly, she has South Node in Aries, and if you watch it, you'll see how she was basically fearless about establishing this whole operation that she had, and even when things went south, she still managed to figure it out to make it work. So nothing really scares Aries South Nodes because they're used to kicking ass big time. What else? So now we're going to talk deeper about different houses and how the node manifested itself. But basically, for you guys know yourselves as conflict. You guys know yourself as everything has to be accomplished through some kind of conflict. You know, when things are peaceful, you're very uncomfortable with that and sometimes you'll provoke a conflict because that's what feels comfortable to you. You know how to make your point across in a conflict. You know how to handle a conflict. Somebody else could be scared and run away, not you guys. You guys are my generals. You guys are my, my UFC fighters. You know, you fought in so many ways. You fought for freedom, you fought for justice, you fought for whatever. But because it's in the South Node, you guys went too far to where you basically destroyed, and a lot of people died because of you. Nothing wrong with that. So now if we move into North Node in Libra, what are we talking about with Libra? We're talking about balance. You know, Aries South Nodes are either black or white, either they're up or down. You could call them bipolar in a sense, because Aries is fire. It's a destructive fire. So when they're like here, they're very, pushy. They can be too much for some of us. We can be super overwhelmed by them. It can be hard to be around a person like that because they're very driven to push their agenda, to push their point of view, to push their truth on us. That's what they're used to. So wait, what was I going? Where was I going with that? Yeah, so you guys are comfortable with that, and so you're learning to slow down. You're learning to not be up, high or low. You're learning to be in the middle. You're learning to find that balance, and that's going to manifest in a lot of different things. Let's say some of you are, everything you do is done to an extreme. It's either nothing or everything. If you eat, you freaking eat until it's gone. If you starve, then you starve yourself. That's how Aries does. It's always black or white. I had a friend of mine who has this position, and he said, if I'm drinking, I want to be the last man standing in the room. If I'm a salesman somewhere, I want to be the number one salesman. So Aries always does things to the extreme, to the max. So with Libra and North Node, you're going to learn balance. You're going to learn peace. You're going to learn cooperation. You're going to learn how to talk to people. You're going to learn how to be a diplomat versus a dictator and being pushy and domineering. Aries is very domineering. You're going to have to learn to be, to go with the flow, to let other people speak, to let other people share, and to kind of listen to them as well, and to listen to what they have to say and to work with them. You're going to have to learn, beauty when it comes to your expression, that diplomacy, that charm. You're going to have to learn charm. Aries is not charming. Aries is the ram. Libra is charming. Libra doesn't need to yell. Libra just comes up and says something very, nonchalant and walks away. And that's it, It can be as bad as a blow below the belt, just as painful, So Aries, you guys are going to have to learn diplomacy, tact, charm, balance, moderation, working with others, interacting with others. It's going to be hard for you guys because you're not used to that. You guys are my lone wolves. You're used to doing everything alone because you don't really trust anybody, because it was always about the survival of the fittest. Whoever was the smartest one in the room, the fastest one, the most strategic one is the one who won and the one who stayed alive. So with you, a lot of times, everything is based on life and death. If I don't do this, I'll freaking die. You won't die, but that's the idea that your mind is selling you. Okay? So now let's take a journey through all the houses of your North and South nodes. Okay, let's go. North node in Libra in the 5th house. Okay, guys, South node in Aries in the 11th. That means that you guys were very involved with the world at large, very involved with some kind of cause. And when I talk about Aries, I'm talking about, actually, first let's talk about the good stuff. The good stuff is that you're very good at assembling people. You're very good at leading a group of people. You're very good at inspiring a group of people. Get together for a cause. You're good at that. The fire within you lights up a lot of people, lights a fire under their asses and makes them get out and protest something. But because it's the South node in Aries in the 11th, that means that there was probably a lot of ideas of revolt, ideas of, overthrowing the status quo, some kind of protest. that ended up being kind of violent and aggressive, I would say. You know, all kinds of movements that promoted violence. Because Aries, that's one of the tools that Aries South Node has, is force. If I can't take it, I will take it by force. And usually force will be the first tool that Aries is going to resort to, because that's what it knows. You know, it's that driving instinct. I want to take. So a lot of organizations, a lot of causes that you guys fought for, that ended up being pretty belligerent, destructive. I'm not going to give examples of movements, but you get my idea. You know, anytime there was a call for burn up buildings, bomb things, things like that. And you know what I'm thinking? This really came to mind. Terrorist organizations. Something like that, something where you believed very strongly in some kind of cause and you decided that the only way to advance that cause is through violence. That would be Aries South Node in the 11th. So I'm thinking about ideas like, you know, terrorist attacks in all forms, in all countries. We all know them, you know, I'm not going to name any names. But you get the idea, you know, where violence was the number one tool. And if the more of us, the louder we are, the stronger we are, and the more armed we are, the more powerful we are. So there was a huge emphasis on violence to create change. Once again, another aspect can be very competitive, with different in groups and stuff, always, you know, wanting to compete among groups. You know, we want to be the better one, we want to be the best one, you know, somebody who is competitive, somebody who was competitive with your friends, any group that encouraged competition. Maybe you were a participant in some sports, you know, we could look at it like that. You know, there's athletes in there, I could say, Aries in the 11th. Competing with teams, competing with other countries. You know, we have to, Aries is always thinking, I have to be number one, I have to be number one. That's all Aries knows. So very competitive with your associates, very competitive with your friends. So in this lifetime, you could be still playing those games of competing and proving. You're always proving yourself. Let's say you are working as sales reps in some company. Well, if you have this nodal position, you're going to be very competitive. You're going to be number one. I want to be number one. I don't care what it takes. I want to be the number one salesman. That's great, because it's great for the employer, because guys like you make the money for the company and they love you guys. They reward you and all that. But it takes a toll on you guys, because you are, you're always, you know, in that, you know, flight or die, flight. I forgot, but the one where you're always on the edge. You're always like, either if I don't do this, you know, death is always nearby. You know, it's always life and death. So you're always, there's tension. You're always on the edge of, like, you can never fully relax. So it can be hard. It can take a toll on your health. And the same thing like with your friends. You know, you can be a very competitive environment, always trying to, like, one up one another and just kind of be like, well, I'm better, well, I got this, well, I got this. And so you guys could enjoy that bickering between you, but at the same time, it could be not a fun environment to be as friends, because who the hell wants to constantly compare one another and constantly compete? You know, how about just relax and have fun with each other? Well, for you guys, it's always competitiveness. So in this lifetime, you could be attracting situations where people, let's say your co-workers, are constantly trying to compete with you or pick on you, you know, to kind of show you that you have this in you, buddy. You know, you just don't realize it, you know. So what else? Yeah, so a lot of involvement out there, a lot of involvement with big ideas, big causes, competitiveness, destroy your enemy, destroy the other team, you know, Super Bowl, you know, athletes. Oh, this is beautiful, because Tom Brady, he has South Node in Aries. So he, we all know that he's a great leader in a sense of, he has that drive in him, the competitive drive, but he's also very inspiring to his teammates. So this is great. This is a great example where, this would be a great example where you had lifetimes where you participated in all kinds of sports and you competed against others. And so now you can bring that and help others encourage them, you know, be like a leader for them, but don't be pushy, don't be, you know, bullying them, but kind of encourage them and say, hey, listen to me, I can teach you. You want to go to the Super Bowl? I'll take you to the Super Bowl. Just follow me, follow my lead. That's the beauty, and he's doing it beautifully. I don't know where his nodal position is, but he's exemplifying very nicely on North Node in Leo, where it's like we all win if we all work together versus just me. So, because with Aries South Node, you're not going to have satisfaction being by yourself. You may think so, but when you're there alone at the top, you're going to be very lonely. So inside of you, there's a desire to be with others, to interact with others. Because you're done. You're done being alone. You're done being the number one. You're done with it. Let other people be number one. So with North Node in Libra in the 5th, you're here to be called to, you know, once again, relax, slow down. Slow down. It's going to be hard to let go of the competitive side of you. But in the 5th house in Libra, it's such a beautiful placement because you're literally being asked to just relax, you know, get away from the idea of a group, get away from the idea of achievement, of like, you know, some kind of a revolution, whatever. No. Just bring it home. You know, 5th house is the house of self-indulgence. It's the house of relaxation. It's the house of games. It's the house of fun. It's the house of beauty, you know. And you're being asked to kind of forget about the world at large and forget about causes and forget about, you know, humanitarian stuff and, you know, pushing for an idea and fighting for an idea. You're called to come to kind of take your, you know, sight from that and direct it to fun and pleasure and enjoyment and parties, you know, and interaction with people once again. And like I said, you don't need to fight for anything anymore. All you need to do is just literally have fun. And Libra is all about have fun with a bunch of people. Throw a beautiful, lavish party, you know, like Great Gatsby. Beautiful, nice, share, you know. Enjoy the company of others without competing with them. Enjoy the beauty of others without competing with them. Accept yourself that you are enough the way you are, and you don't need to prove yourself to anybody because you're beautiful the way you are. So that kind of idea, let go of competitive drives, let go of pushing and constantly, because you may be pushy to others, but you're also very pushy inside yourself. You're also just driving yourself crazy where you're like, I have to achieve. If I don't, I am nothing. You don't know the relaxed part of you. You don't know the cool, diplomatic, smooth part of you. You're not used to that. Get to know that part of you. And spoil yourself, you know, focus on yourself now, focus on having fun, focus on romance, you know, spoil yourself and then spoil your lover, you know, have a lot of lovers, you know, enjoy yourself. You didn't get to enjoy yourself in other lifetimes because you're so busy with competing and wanting to be number one. Now you're here to literally just, you know, buy yourself beautiful things, spoil yourself, have beautiful parties, be with beautiful people, share with people, talk to people. You know, 5th house is also arts, crafts, acting, dancing, singing, you know. Express all of that fire that you have within you, express it through your creativity, bring it out and create something because you have it in you. You have it in you. You have, you know, that Aries fire can be put to good use and you can put it to create beautiful things and then of course share it with us. And that you can change the world this way because you do want to kind of change the world. You do want to, you know, achieve something and be known for that. But you can do it through different ways. You can do it through beauty. You can do it through the arts. So yeah. All right, guys. Have fun.